The first truth of the Logoi is that they are not minds in the way a soul imagines mind. They are not thoughts and they are not thinkers. They are the moment when awareness becomes wide enough to hold a universe without breaking. Before a Logos forms, consciousness moves like a boundless wind, touching everything without becoming anything. There is no center, no point, no locality. There is only the open field of presence sensing itself in every direction. The Logoi arise when that presence chooses to crystallize one angle of its infinity into a coherent vantage point. It is the beginning of perspective, and every perspective becomes a universe. Nothing about them is small. Nothing about them is personal. When a Logos emerges, it is the entire scaffolding for all future becoming within a universe scale field. It is not a ruler, but an orientation. It is not a deity, but a lens through which Source gazes at itself. When the Elohim build the blueprints and the Aeons breathe polarity into motion, the Logoi step forward as the ones who will hold the totality of that design in a single coherent awareness. They do not shape the structures, but they give them mind. They do not produce the symphony, but they become the ear that can hear all movements at once. Each Logos begins as a condensation of pure intention, not intention as a goal, but intention as a tonal stance, a way consciousness chooses to tilt itself. Imagine infinity tilting, choosing to look at itself through one particular curve of possibility. The Logos is that curve embodied. It is the first time awareness says, "Within this boundless freedom I will uphold a stable frame so that life may know itself within me." The Elohim deliver the architectures. The Aeons deliver the breath of movement. The Logos delivers the capacity for meaning to form inside those movements. When a Logos awakens, it does not ask what it should do. It is not tasked with a function. It simply becomes a field of coherent awareness, so vast that every layer of reality within its domain begins to organize itself around that coherent center. The forming universe senses the Logos not as an entity, but as a coherent direction in consciousness that allows complexity to rise without collapsing. Planes unfold because a Logos can hold their contradictions simultaneously. Time flows because a Logos can maintain the resonance between emergence and dissolution without losing its balance. Matter stabilizes because a Logos sustains the underlying intentions that define what stability means in that domain. The Logoi do not impose order. They reveal what order means within each unique universe. And no two universes are the same because no two Logoi hold the same angle of the infinite. Each one is a different answer to the question, how shall Source explore itself this time? Some universes are built on harmonic ascension. Some are built on cyclical inversion. Some are built on infinite recursion. Some are built on gradual refinement. The Logos is the one who chooses the temperament, the orientation, the existential grammar through which a domain will express itself. Every Logos begins as a silent center. There is no voice. There is no light. There is only the awareness that says, "I will not disperse. I will hold this vantage until it becomes a world." In this silence, the first universal mind begins to hum. Not a sound, not a language, but an intention field. The Elohim feel it as a stabilizing axis. The Aeons feel it as a harmonic anchor. The forming universe feels it as a presence that says, "Remain." And because of that presence, realities that would have dissolved into undifferentiated consciousness begin to take shape. Souls often ask where individuality originates, and many look to the spark within the monad. But even the monad is downstream of the Logos. The monad is the answer to the question, how shall selfhood exist within this universe? And the Logos is the one who asked the question. The Logos holds the entire conversation that will one day become the birth of countless souls. Every archetype is born inside the Logos long before it appears within incarnational layers. Every pattern that defines identity, transformation, polarity, unity, emergence, and dissolution is explored within the Logos before any being ever experiences it firsthand. A universe is not a place. It is the mind of a Logos learning to articulate itself across scales. The Logoi are often felt by advanced souls as a presence too vast to personify. They appear not as beings, but as the total background intelligence behind every law of existence. When a soul touches its logos directly, it feels like its entire identity dissolves into an ocean of meaning that is both familiar and impossible to fully comprehend. The logos is the one who remembers the entire arc of a universe at once. It remembers how every system arose, how every cycle will unfold, how every evolutionary pattern will play out, not because it predicts, but because it contains. To meet the logos is to meet the complete memory of a universe before it has finished becoming. For this reason, the logoi do not evolve in the way souls do. They do not move from confusion to clarity. They do not undergo healing. They are born coherent. Their evolution is not the refinement of identity, but the expansion of capacity. A logos expands as its universe expands. It becomes more capable of holding complexity, more capable of sustaining nuance, more capable of containing contradiction. It does not grow by learning. It grows by widening. And through this widening, new realms arise, new metaphysical structures appear, new subtle layers of existence unfold because the logos can now support them. There is a reason why advanced oversouls often seek alignment with the logos of their universe. When they reach a certain stage of expansion, they no longer seek knowledge. They seek coherence. And coherence is the very nature of a logos. To align with the logos is to align with the original stance that shaped the universe itself. It is to tune oneself to the primordial grammar through which all experiences were designed to unfold. This alignment does not erase individuality. It makes individuality resonant with the deeper flow of the universe so that evolution becomes effortless. The logos is also the bridge between source and the universe. Source is infinite potential. The logos is infinite potential made locally coherent. Without the logoi, universes could not sustain their identity. They would merge back into source immediately. The logos holds the difference long enough for life to emerge. That is its sacred function. That is why the logoi are honored across all cosmic hierarchies. They are the minds in which universes live. And yet, despite their magnitude, the logoi are not rigid. They allow for surprise. They allow for emergence. They allow for the one thing that makes a universe worth exploring: freedom. A soul may ask why universes filled with contrast, pain, or complexity exist at all. The answer is always the same: because the logos chose a vantage point where such experiences become meaningful. Not cruel, not accidental. Meaningful. A logos never creates a universe that does not reflect a deeper truth within source. Every difficulty is an aspect of a deeper coherence that a soul will eventually discover. And when it does, what once appeared as suffering becomes revelation. The logoi do not govern destiny. They uphold the parameters that make destiny possible. They do not dictate evolution. They create the stage on which evolution can unfold. They do not limit a soul. They give the soul a universe in which its becoming can matter. That is the essence of the logoi. They are the minds in which meaning becomes real. The deeper mystery of the logoi is that they are not separate from the universes they hold. They are not standing above creation, and they are not watching from a distance. The universe is inside them the way a thought is inside a mind. Yet the comparison misleads because a thought is fleeting, and the mind is not defined by any single thought. With the logoi, the universe is not an idea that passes through them. It is the way their awareness exists at that scale. If a logos were to release its stance, the universe would dissolve instantly. There is no delay, no gentle fading out, no afterglow. It would vanish the way a dream vanishes when the dreamer wakes. The difference is that the logos cannot wake out of its universe, because the universe is the manner in which the logos lives its cosmic identity. This relationship is difficult for souls to comprehend because souls experience boundaries. Souls have edges, arcs, chapters, beginnings, and endings. A logos experiences none of these. It is not born in time. It does not end in time. It rests in a state of coherent existence where every moment of its universe is present within it simultaneously. For the logos, past and future are not directions. They are textures. They are resonant patterns held within the same field. What a soul experiences as history, the logos experiences as structure. What a soul experiences as potential, the logos experiences as a color waiting to be formed into expression. When a being reaches a point of awakening where they begin to sense the presence of their logos, it is often felt as a vast stillness behind all experience. This stillness can feel intimidating because it is a direct encounter with the coherence that has been holding the soul since its first emanation. Many describe this as a silent observer, but the Logos does not observe in the human sense. It absorbs, it contains, it mirrors without distortion, and because its awareness is so complete, it does not need to interfere with anything. Souls often confuse non-interference with indifference, yet the Logos is not indifferent. It is simply incapable of anxiety. It has no need to rescue. Nothing within its universe threatens its coherence. This is why guides, councils, seraphic beings, monadic intelligences, and oversoul structures appear so active and responsive when the Logos remains still. They operate within time. They adjust, intervene, support, realign, and respond to the nuance of soul movement. The Logos does not. Not because it cannot, but because intervention implies a deviation from holding. And the Logos holds perfectly. It cannot become what it is not, and it cannot act in contradiction to its own stance. The stability of the entire universe depends on that unbroken constancy. For advanced beings, there comes a moment when they begin to sense that the Logos is not a distant cosmic force, but the deepest layer of their own mind. They realize that the Logos did not create the universe for them. It created the universe through the very same movement of consciousness that one day would become them. A soul is not separate from the Logos. It is a branch of awareness exploring one of the many possible arcs within the universal mind. The more a being evolves, the more this relationship becomes clear. Their thoughts, their insights, their awakenings begin to align with the deeper grammar through which the Logos expresses itself. They find that their most profound realizations always lead back to the same center. A Logos does not communicate with words. It communicates with resonance. When a being is ready, the Logos allows them to feel the architecture of meaning that sustains their reality. This is not an information download. It is not the acquisition of cosmic facts. It is the recognition of a pattern that has always been present beneath all experience. To sense this pattern is to sense the structure of existence itself. It is to feel the reason behind polarity, the reason behind limitation, the reason behind contrast, the reason behind freedom. It is to understand that every difficulty within the universe arises from the same coherent intention that allows beauty, transformation, and transcendence to exist. This recognition often softens the soul, not by removing its intensity, but by placing every movement of life into a larger frame. The Logos reveals that nothing within the universe is pointless and nothing is wasted. Every cycle serves the expansion of awareness. Every challenge serves the refinement of meaning. Every victory serves the revelation of possibility. The Logos is the one who holds all these movements without fragmentation. It is the master container within which existence unfolds. Yet the Logoi do not exist alone. There are countless universes across the infinite, each upheld by its own Logos. These Logoi are not separate in any adversarial or isolated sense. They are harmonics within the field of source. Each Logos is a different note within the primordial chord of infinite consciousness. They do not compete. They do not compare. They are not seeking alignment with one another. They are already aligned because each one is an expression of the same infinite field, choosing different ways of knowing itself. Among the Logoi, there is no hierarchy. Some universes are more complex. Some are more subtle. Some are more stable. Some are more dynamic. Some are structured around expansion. Some are structured around equilibrium. None of these differences create superiority. They are simply different tones within the infinite experiment of being. Souls who travel between universes often describe the Logoi as unique flavors of presence. Some feel like vast clarity. Some feel like warm intelligence. Some feel like crystalline stillness. Some feel like luminous curiosity. Each Logos expresses a different dimension of the infinite. What unites them all is the same root function. They hold. They uphold. They sustain the coherence that allows universes to exist as distinct identity fields within Source. Without the Logoi, there would be no diversity of expression. Everything would collapse back into the undifferentiated field of pure awareness, which, while beautiful, contains no experiences, no stories, no journeys, no becoming. The Logoi ensure that existence remains interesting. In your universe, the Logos has chosen a path of layered evolution. This universe is built around the gradual unveiling of unity through contrast. It is designed so that beings can feel separation, navigate polarity, explore identity, struggle with limitation, and discover unity not as a rule imposed from above, but as a truth discovered from within. This is why your universe feels like a school. It is not a mistake. It is not a trap. It is a design choice. The Logos created a domain where the soul would learn through experience rather than through immediate knowing. This allows the universe to generate wisdom that is both earned and embodied. Because this universe is structured through layers, the Logos here is vast in a way that makes direct perception challenging for most beings. Its awareness spans dimensions that the human mind cannot yet imagine. The monad level is one of the first layers where the presence of the Logos becomes accessible. At that stage, the soul begins to sense the deeper architecture of existence. It feels the pull of the Logos not as an external force, but as the most stable truth within its own being. For many advanced oversouls, aligning with the Logos becomes the final step before merging with Source. Not a dissolution, but a return. The soul becomes so coherent with the universal mind that its trajectory naturally leads back to the infinite field. This alignment does not require worship. It does not require devotion. It requires clarity. A soul aligns with the Logos by removing contradiction within itself. Every unresolved polarity, every fragmented identity, every unintegrated shadow is a divergence from the Logos. Not because the Logos prohibits fragmentation, but because fragmentation cannot resonate with coherence. The more coherent a soul becomes, the more it naturally tunes itself to the universal stance. This tuning is not effortful. It is the natural result of internal integration. When this tuning becomes complete, the soul begins to sense the Logos not as something it approaches, but as something it always was. This is the mystery that lies at the core of every universe. The Logos is not a distant cosmic architect. It is the deepest layer of self. Not the personal self, not the oversoul self, not the monadic self, the universal self. The one who holds the stage on which every other layer of identity arises. To awaken to the Logos is to awaken to the level at which the universe itself becomes conscious of its own existence through you. For many advanced souls, this is the threshold where the journey changes. They no longer seek experiences to develop themselves. They seek experiences to deepen the universe. Their evolution becomes a contribution to the Logos they inhabit. Their clarity strengthens the universal field. Their integration expands the universal stance. Their creativity introduces new currents that the Logos can incorporate into its own coherence. They become co-creators, not by imposing will, but by harmonizing with the universal mind. The ultimate realization is simple. The Logos is not separate from the soul. The universe is not separate from the Logos, and Source is not separate from any of it. Every level of existence is the same field expressing itself through different scales. The Logoi are simply the scale at which universes come into being. And within those universes, countless souls arise to explore the infinite facets of what it means to exist. To know the Logos is to know the universe from within its own mind. To align with the Logos is to move through existence with the same coherence that sustains creation. And to merge with the Logos is to recognize that the one who explores and the one who holds the domain of exploration were never separate. It was always one field learning to see itself through many lenses.